Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Margaret and welcome to Purple Frog. Today I'm going to be taking y'all with me to go to some of my favorite anime stores in Shinjuku, Japan, specifically at Marui Annex. So without further ado, let's get into it. Outside of Marui Annex, you have these movie posters of things that are currently out. The first store that we will be visiting today though is Surugaya, which is located on the 5th floor of the building. When you first enter, you see a whole bunch of these discount bins that have really cheap anime merchandise. It tends to be a little bit picked over though, but if you have a popular character, you'll probably not be able to find them here. You will typically find Kuji prizes. Here's their Naruto bin. If you are a fan of unpopular characters though, you will probably find a lot of merchandise in those bins. They also have quite the selection of figures. Here are some of the examples of figures you can get, particularly mainly prize figures, Kuji figures. I was surprised to see a slam dunk figure here. They also have a lot of One Piece figures, both prize figures, but also like Portrait of Pirates. This is all secondhand, so a lot of it is already opened, but everything is kept in great condition. Here are some of more of the discount bins. They have these Jujutsu Kaisen acrylic stands and My Hero keychains. These are all 100 yen, which is such a great deal. They even have some Yu Yu Hakusho items, which are very exciting. Here are some of the Look-Up figures that they have, and some of their JoJo's Bizarre Adventure figures, which was awesome. They even had the Caesar Nendroid. Look at all of these part 5 Kuji figures, so cool. Here's this like Yoshikage Kira figure and more Kuji figures. They also have like little blind box figures on the end caps that you can purchase, like these Naruto ones. And then moving forward though, they have a whole bunch of opened merchandise secondhand. So of course I went to the Blue Lock Botchera section where I sifted through things. This is organized acrylic stands. You also have paper goods in here, keychains. So you really have to dig through to find some good deals and good prices. They don't have the cheapest prices here compared to other secondhand stores, but they do make up for it in the sheer variety that they have, as they just have so many different items in such like a large selection. Some of the prices you can find are really good deals. Some of them though can be a little bit expensive, so it's just good to know of what you're particularly looking for and how much the items that you want are worth. They also have plushies at the bottom, as you guys can tell. They have quite a few plushies here. They have this really cute green one like Pochako that's really adorable. They have such a wide variety of series at this location. Like, I was surprised to see Zatch Bell acrylic stands. They even had merchandise for Tomodachi Game, which definitely surprised me. Never seen that before in stores. They even had some Fire Force items, 7 Deadly Sins, Yakuza Fiancé. The more expensive items though are kept in these glass cabinets where you will have to ask for assistance to get items out of those cases. They also have blind bags here. This like little Kenmo, so cute, but they have blind bags here. Pretty good prices. These are new, they're unopened, so that was very exciting. They have lots of plushies. Here are some of their Haikyuu plushies. They had this really great deal for these 2 Bokuto ones, I was surprised to see those were like really cheap for those 2. I was comparing the prices for this 2 set to this like one above. The one above was actually more expensive than the 2 together. So once again, prices can vary here. There's not like one set pricing, so you really have to like dig through and really find those good deals, because you can find them. They just take a little bit more work. Here is their Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer section. Once again, they have a lot of merchandise here, keychains, a wide variety. Here we see some My Hero Academia and whatnot. Once again, plushies, acrylic stands, Kaiju number 8. Here is their large selection of Jujutsu Kaisen. They even had some Bleach merchandise, which really surprised me since Bleach merchandise is actually quite hard to find. If you're a big fan of Renji, you're in luck because Renji stuff is pretty cheap. I was so excited to see that they had a Hikaru no Go section here. Unfortunately, there was nothing of the characters that I particularly collect for, but I was still excited to see it nonetheless. I also found their Naruto section, which was very exciting since I was on the hunt for some Itachi items. I found this marine acrylic stand that was new. I was so excited. Once again though, I just kept digging because look at this. I found the same exact acrylic stand, but it was 200 yen cheaper. So like I said, price is not set in stone here. It just varies depending on how much they have in stock. They had the Naruto like little ice cream blind bags. These really cute One Piece plushies. I love their like Christmas Law one with the like little mustache. That's so cute. For the Blue Lock section, they even had some unopened cases of stuff like this for 3,500. You could get the entire set of these Zodiac badges, which is a really good deal for how many there are in there. Why is Baro stuff so expensive all of a sudden? When I came here previously in Japan, Baro stuff was so cheap. Now it's gone up, unfortunately. Here's their large Apothecary Diaries section, which is pretty good. They even had some MF Ghost stuff. I was shocked. In their Sakamoto Day section, they had these adorable shaker candy keychains. I was in awe. These are so cute. I hope they make more of these for different series because that's adorable. Large Sakamoto Days section. Once again, you have blind bags. You also just have randomly this ghetto like acrylic block for 1600. That was a great deal. I don't collect his stuff, but I was just shocked. That's a really good deal. Here are some more of the plushes that they have. They had this like really cute Byakuya for 1000, which is a pretty good deal. This section is more like mixed in just general plushies rather than organized by series. I revisited the figure section to just make sure there was nothing there that I needed to have that I missed. They had Full Metal Alchemist figures and also a lot of Blue Lock figures. Unfortunately though, they were all so expensive, so I did not end up picking up any of them. They had figures though for some other series like Fable. I did not know Fable figures were like a thing. Before checking out though and heading to the next store, I revisited the bins section to make sure once again there was nothing that I missed. I dug through the Kimetsu no Yaiba section. As you can see, like a lot of Gyomeis in here, no really Gyo items. You do see a lot of Tanjiro though. Here is their One Piece section, which is full of Kuji prizes. I managed to find this like little Bokuto section in the Haikyuu area, so of course I grabbed that. They even had a bin for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Once again, like a lot of like Avdol stuff and like Red Magician. If you're a fan of Kuji prizes and more like unpopular but like common characters, I do recommend digging through these bins as you will find a lot of items for a lot of different series. After that though, I headed to the next stop, which was Seria, where they had a whole bunch of these anime blind bags. They had Durarara, Frieren, Haikyuu, Blue Exorcist, Windbreaker, Dragon Ball, Hitman Reborn. There were so many items here. I was so excited. They even had some of the Haikyuu clear cards. Unfortunately, I was not able to get too much footage, but I was able to get some good footage of their blind bag section. All of these are 100 yen each plus 10% tax, which is a great deal for blind bags. They even had anime merchandise like acrylic organizers, storage, and even like clothes for plushies. And even like little pouches for Ida bags. They even had Chikawa stuff, Sanrio. So many good items here for such good prices. Once again, these were all like 100 yen, so can't beat it. The next store that I'm taking you guys to is Lashinbng. This Lashinbng is much smaller than the other Lashinbngs that I've been to. They did, however, have some really nice items like this Psyche K Nendo acrylic stand, various badges from other series, these Gintama slippers. They had some Hunter x Hunter items, primarily like Leorio and whatnot. Here is their Naruto section, which was pretty small, and a lot of like good stuff. Like they had these Minato acrylic stands, they had Shikamaru. This one is so cute of him painting. Here is their Jujutsu Kaisen section, which is pretty good in size. They had this really nice JJK Zero like little set. These little Yuji charms were so cute. They organize here by character typically if there's enough merchandise, so that's really nice to be able to find the things that you were looking for. They had like little Megumi Sukuna plush. Here is their Kimetsu no Yaiba section, which is also pretty large. The more popular series is what you will find here. They don't have the biggest variety for in terms of series, but they do have some of the really good like popular stuff for good prices. Here are some of the Kimetsu no Yaiba figures that they had at the bottom. Here is their My Hero Academia section, which was pretty good. This Bakugo pouch was so cute. I've never seen that before. They had Huck stuff. They had Izuku, like blowing bubbles. That was really cute. They have acrylic stands, Ken badges, you name it. In terms of merchandise, they probably have it. Even these like visor things, but these are from Bleach. They had like a lot of just like exhibition merchandise or whatever this is from, including the shirts, bags, keychains. All for pretty good prices though. Here is their like little One Piece section, acrylic stands, Ken badges, keychains, plushes. I did revisit their JJK section to look at the Geto and Gojo section. They had a lot of good items here. They also had a Tokyo Revengers area and Windbreaker. Once again, they had a large variety in terms of type of merchandise, including like this large Windbreaker pillow. They also had Bungo Stray Dogs items. This like little Dazai Ken badge was so cute. It was quite expensive though. Once again though, these were typically organized by characters, so it was pretty easy to find merchandise of the character that you were looking for. On the sides, they typically highlight the more expensive or sought-after merchandise. Here's their figure section, which they do have, mainly like a lot of One Piece figures. They had a Blue Lock section, and I found this Ego acrylic stand, so of course I had to grab that. Here's what their Blue Lock section was looking like. Of course, I checked out the Bachira area, and I did find a couple of good things. They had acrylic stands, rubber straps, Ken badges all mixed in together, so you really had to like sift through them. They had Chigiri, Rin, Isugi, and like a lot of other stuff. At the top, they had their plushie area. Plushies and larger acrylic stands are typically mixed together rather than sorted by character. They also had a lot of Miku figures here. I believe these are also Vocaloids, so here's that merchandise section. I managed to find this Sai Gachapon figure that I grabbed. I have no idea what is going on with these Dragon Ball figures, but they had a lot of Dragon Ball figures. They even had some figures without boxes that you could purchase for a cheaper discounted price. And a lot more figures. Maru Annex also has a lot more different shops to visit here that I highly recommend checking out, like this crane game place. But I just mainly wanted to just highlight those 3 shops as they are my favorite here. I highly recommend visiting Maru Annex as it is a really nice place to visit if you don't want to do a lot of walking and you want to find great stores within a very close area. They even had like some Chikawa stuff on display. Okay everyone, so I am back from shopping at the Maru Annex out in Shinjuku, so let's get into the haul. Let's start with what I picked up at Surugaya. They had the entire floor full of discounted anime merchandise. They had a lot of expensive stuff, a lot of stuff on sale and bargain bins, and a lot of good deals. Some stuff was overpriced, but overall I did find a couple of things, and I'm really excited about what I did find. Let's start with the smallest thing first. So the first thing that I picked up was this mini Bokuto Gachapon figure. I got him for 300 yen from a bargain bin. Last time I was in Japan, I picked up the Kageyama sleeping one, actually from the Gachapon machine. But this time I found Bokuto, so of course I had to grab him. Let's get him open, let's free him. He is suffocating in here. So getting the one I wanted for 100 yen cheaper than the actual retail price is a good deal. The painting is obviously not the best since this is a gachapon figure. I think he's still pretty cute. I really like him. His face is good, so that's what's important. Just his hair is a little sloppy. The next thing that I picked up was this Itachi figure. This is from Naruto The Live, as you guys can see here. This is like a little rock band themed. They had the Obito one with the drum set. I ended up passing on that. I grabbed this one though. It was 1800, which is a decent deal for this acrylic stand, especially just acrylic stands of Itachi in general are always pretty expensive, especially on the aftermarket, secondhand and whatnot. And so this was like a okay deal. I was a little bit hesitant towards getting it, but I decided to just, you know, get it. And when I was at the checkout, I was surprised because the 2 acrylic stands that I got were like 30% off. It was not marked anywhere like when I was grabbing the acrylic stands, but when I was at the checkout, it was like 1,000 yen cheaper than I thought it would be. I was like, dang, okay. So I got like 400 yen off this. Like, look how cute. So it has this little ponytail with his guitar. I think this will look great on my Itachi shelf. And then the last thing that I picked up from Surugaya, the Itachi Marine acrylic stand. Yay! I've seen some of my previous Manga Diaries videos. I actually picked up the entire set of these Ken badges. You can actually see the Naruto one back there. But I picked up the entire box set of the badges for this like marine line. So of course I had to get the acrylic stand. When I saw it there, it was 1,500, which is cheaper than retail. Retail, I believe it was like 1650 for retail. So that was a good deal. I got cheaper for retail, and then I also got the 30% off, so that's a steal. Love him so much, and I like the base on this one. It's cute. Oh my god, I love him so much. Now let's move on to what I got at Lashinbng. Lashinbng did not have really the biggest selection of items that I've been to, like different Lashinbngs. This one was definitely like on the smaller side, but I did grab 2 things. The first thing was this this Ego acrylic stand. It was 280 yen, which is a good deal. I don't have it. Of course, I had to grab it. I love Ego. We have him in his like little spinny chair, sitting, what is this, with his knees up? Lovely. And this is from Gigo. So cute. It'll look great on my like little Ego shrine. Then the last thing I got from Lashinbng was just this sleeping Sai figure for 480. I wanted to originally get the one of the volume 1 because this is volume 2, but this one's just cheaper and they didn't have volume 1 there, so I was like, I'll just get this one. The coloring was not too much different on his hair, which is the most important thing for me. But yeah, I have the volume 1 set complete for the Blue Gacha, so I feel like this will look really cute next to the Rin one. So of course I had to grab it. I love these like sleeping figures. I think they're always such like nice quality figures, especially for the price. So that's all I got at Lashinbng. Now let's move on to what I got at Daiso. Seria, whatever you want to call it. The first thing I grabbed were 2 sheets of stickers. I grabbed this one, which is food and like picnic themed, which will look really cute for my hobonichi and like my journaling and whatnot. Then I got the stickers of these like little girls, because once again, I just think these are like really nice to just add character to my like journaling and my scrapbooking and whatnot. Like, look how cute. The last stationery thing I got was this masking tape. Yeah, I just like the birds. I think it's really cute. Once again, Hobonichi, I feel like this will be great for spring and for fall. At this location though, there were a lot of blind bags. They had a really good blind bag selection, so I did go a little bit crazy, just a wee bit. I started off with the Haikyuu clear cards. I grabbed 2 of the volume 1 clear cards. Then I also have 2 from the volume 2 clear cards. I picked up 2 of the volume 3 ones. 2 of the volume 4 ones. I've never opened up volume 4 before. These have just not been released when I was last doing these. So it looks like it's just Nekoma and Kurosano. On the topic of Haikyuu, I also got this Haikyuu stamp. Once again, last time I was in Japan, I got some mystery stamps. I have some from Spy Family and one from JJK, and I love using them. They're just really fun to use, so I thought I would get one from Haikyuu. Then I grabbed 2 of these Blue Lock metallic cards. Here's what they look like. The last thing I picked up was very exciting for me. I picked up 2 of these Blue Exorcist acrylic stands. I have never seen these before. I was surprised at how much Blue Exorcist merchandise I was seeing in Japan. It was very surprising overall. So Daiso and Seria acrylic stands are quite nice in my opinion. I feel like they're always pretty high quality. And as you can tell, look how cute. Oh my god, I just don't want Yukio. Oh my god, no, just not him. So yeah, here's everything that I got in today's shopping video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are ever in Shinjuku, I highly recommend checking out the Marui Annex. They had so many great stores there. They also had the Cinema Roll Cafe, they had Chikawa stuff. It was just crazy and I really enjoyed it overall. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to comment, rate, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!